Hey everyone, what's up? It's Babylonius from PeakofSerenity.com here with another video commentary. This time it is heroic Maiden of Vigilance. Sorry, Maiden of Vigilance. One of, at least in my opinion, kind of my favorite fight. My favorite fight in Tomb of Sargeras so far. And this fight I feel is very interesting. So kind of right off the bat, what she does is she gives everyone an infusion, a fel or a light infusion, and you have to make sure that you're kind of stacked up on the correct side. You don't want to be around other people who have the different kind of infusion. You don't really want to take damage from anything of that kind of infusion because it'll cause increased damage and just generally be very bad. So really that's kind of the big thing. When she casts her hammer ability, she'll do a light style hammer and then a fel style hammer. You want to be grouped up for that when she is doing the hammer for your side. When she's doing the hammer for the other side, you kind of want to be spread out because she will put little circles on the ground. So this is the next phase, and this was kind of the coolest. And basically, if you have the light infusion, you want to grab these light orbs. They give you a buff, a stacking buff. If you have the fel infusion, you want to grab the fel orbs. We opted to really not pay that much time into stacking them up. We didn't really need the DPS, so we all kind of stacked. Basically, if you hit the wrong orb, it's really bad. So we opted for the safer route of kind of ignoring the orbs. We just had our tanks go back and forth and grab them, really only one person. So we limited our stack ability, but it was a much safer option. Being the first night and stuff, people were trying to get a little greedy and stuff like that. And really, these orbs are more of a team sport than a personal thing. Once it's on farm and stuff, that'll be no big deal. Every man for himself. But so this is the other mechanic, Unstable Soul. And basically, what this does is it puts a little dot on, or a debuff on you. And a little bit of a lag when that happened. But it puts a little bit of debuff on you, and you have a certain amount of seconds. And after that debuff goes off, it explodes, damaging everyone in the area and knocking you up. So ideally, what you want to do is, you can see people here, is when it gets down to 1.5 seconds, you want to jump in the well and then get knocked back up out of the well. Windwalkers can use Transcendence here, and stuff like that, but I don't really totally feel that it's necessary, but it doesn't hurt. Just make sure that you would use Transcendence after the after it actually explodes. So here again, we went into another transition. Again, we kind of stacked up between the lanes so as to not get too many stacks or really apply any reasonable risk. But really, this fight is just kind of rinse and repeat. You do get a stacking debuff here. It stacks up to, I think it's 10% damage per stack, and it can stack up to 10. So you can get up to 100% damage. So it's kind of a big deal, especially I'm sure in Mythic it's a huge deal. For this fight, I went with Serenity. It's really a single target fight. I also used my legendary bracers and legendary boots. I didn't use my legendary chest just because I don't like the legendary chest, but certainly because it is a single target fight, the legendary chest is a reasonable option. But really, this fight just felt fun. There was a lot of personal responsibility, a lot of kind of team responsibility. It was, I think, one of the simpler fights to execute, but it was a reasonably difficult enough fight. To where you really kind of have to pay attention. So this was, pretty much my favorite fight through normal and heroic. And I think it'll be very interesting in Mythic. But yeah, this is really the fight. You're going to blow up the boss and do as much as you can. Stack on the side that you need to. When you get this Unstable Soul, you're going to pop back in and get knocked up in the air and go back to damaging the boss. When she knocks you back, or does this portal thing, which she should be doing in a second. Yep, there we go. Then you run, you absorb orbs if that's what you want to do, and stuff like that. You avoid the orbs of the opposite color, and you just kind of burn the boss. And that was really it. She has a shield on her here, and you have to break the shield for her to stop AoEing the raid. So it is kind of a DPS crunch here. So that's where the orbs come into play. But yeah, it's kind of rinse and repeat, the same cycle of stacking up for a hammer, spreading out when the other side's getting the hammer, getting the orbs when she portals, you know, all that good stuff. Windwalker has a lot of mobility to get places, so it's very easy for a Windwalker or other specs with high mobility to kind of monopolize the orbs. You know, so you kind of have to resist doing that because, like I said, it is a team sport. You doing 100% damage, they do, when you hit an orb, it gives the buff to everyone in a small radius. You know, so you have to consider that doing, you know, if you get the orb and kind of be selfish, you might do 100% more damage, but 5 or 6 other people maybe only do 50. So it's going to reward you much more in terms of killing the boss if you know work as a team and stuff like that. So this was a relatively fun fight. So I hope you enjoyed as well. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my other kill commentaries and stuff like that. Check out all the other content on Peak of Serenity. If you like this kind of content, then please support me through Patreon and PayPal. All that good stuff. And yeah, not much else to say. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.